All right, Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise, glory, and honor that's due to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, and Shalom to the men of the Lord that are prophesying, preaching, and teaching on the highways and byways in sincerity and in truth. Shalom, Barakathum. And man, it's hitting the fan. The news, it's ramping up. It's clear this day. What time it is, man. All right, we're gonna play a little bit of this clip of this guy from Redacted here. All right, and you're gonna see what I mean. That we're basically at the end of this thing, man. This is very, very, very good news for the elect. You know, Lord willing, the brothers that are sincere are of that number. All right, we're gonna play a little bit of this video and get a few precepts, but you're gonna see. We're gonna skip around to about the 9-minute mark. You can see the bombshell of what's going on here. All right. Esau's doing it exactly the way the Lord said he was going to do, man. That's the key takeaway. Esau's doing it exactly the way the Lord told him to do it, or said he was going to do it. You know. So let's watch a little bit of this, okay? On the Charagma. All right.
To almost no one, a shady group of globalist elites, people, I didn't even know this group, to be honest with you, who run our monetary system, very quietly rolled out the new way that you will bank and pay for goods. Do you know these guys? We'll get to them in a second. Where you'll buy your meat, your eggs, buy your gas, your petrol, all of these things will now.
Did you know that a select group just got together? All right. And nobody knows about it. Who behaves like this, man? That's a precept that the scriptures speak about a certain behavior of individuals acting like this, man. It says, Isaiah 29:15, woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord Yahweh. Their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us and who knoweth us? Who is that talking about, man? Let me dig a little bit deeper into this, all right? Who's moving like this? Who is the scriptures talking about, man? It's talking about the wicked, all right? And in this context, it's talking about Esau, Edom, which is a so-called white man who's called himself white, all right? Yet another alias that he goes by, all to avoid his identity so he can slow down the timing of his judgment. But he can't slow down the timing of his judgment, man. It's already been appointed. The Lord said that, all right? But verse 16, it says, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. So there's more context. The same individual that says, who seeth us, who knoweth us, is the same motherfuckers turning everything on his head, man. Saying up is down, black is white. All right. And you know the agendas and movements that I'm talking about. All right. That's more protected than you are as an Israelite. Other people came about and got more rights, more privileges. They're more protected than you. All right. Over wickedness, man. Over what they identify as. Over the flag that they fly, I should say. And what do you have, man? They gave y'all Juneteenth, which is nothing but another reason for you to go out there and spend more money to help the devil, man. And further wickedness in the earth. All right. It says, for shall the work of say of him that made it, he made me not, or shall the thing that framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding. All right. And we know this goes into to the month of June. I'll just say that. All right. Well, he said the month of June. What did Nate say? It's June. Ain't no micro, you know? I don't even want to say the whole word because of the topic here, but let's finish, man.
I'll be functionally controlled by this group. This is how you will invest with this new digital currency infrastructure. The only reason we even know about this is thanks to a press release that they put out, issued by this shady group of people. And it happened last week right under our noses during spring break, I guess, when
See, they released this as a press release so they can say, now we told you, man. The shadowy group, he says. All right. It's the same people, man. All right. These same people that seek to hide their counsel from the Lord in the dark, all right, It's them.
Everyone was not really paying attention. So let's go through how crazy this is and what this will lead to. We've been warning about this for a long time on this channel, and you're starting to see a lot of the pieces come into place now. 2 weeks ago, we told you about how the Fed Now program is rolling out, right? That just began. That will wrap up in July, they say. So those pieces are starting to come into place there for central bank digital currency in the United States. We've already seen CBDCs being rolled out in other countries as well. But this is the umbrella CBDC that would go over all of them. So last week, the DCM.
You see how it's all coming together? First, it just seemed like, oh, what's this new technology? Oh, it's called Bitcoin. Oh, that's cool, man. It's gonna be a new currency, and you're gonna be able to trade with it. It's completely anonymous. And then next thing you know, you had Litecoin came out. Then Ethereum came out. Oh, this is cool. Now we have a thing called crypto. Now we have a crypto market. You see? It went from a startup technology 15 years ago, all right, to being a new technology, to being an entire crypto market. And now it's going from what? It's going from an entire crypto market to countries are now adopting it to their own central bank digital currencies now, man. All right. It went through that whole evolution to all of these countries doing it. And now what's happening? Now all of the countries are doing what? Going under one umbrella. You see how Esau did that? He just rolled out the technology over the course of years. Nobody paying attention. Other camps like IUIC, ISUPK, they do not care about this. They're not watching like they're supposed to be watching, man. This is why we get on other camps. All right? Because watching is an extremely important job. All right? Extremely important. The watchman's duty. Okay, read Ezekiel 33. All right, this is a side point. All right, but verse Ezekiel 33 and 6, it says, "But if the watchman see the sword come and blow not the trumpet, and the people be not warned, if the sword come and take any person from among them, all right, he is taken away his iniquity, but his blood will I require at the watchman's hand." All right. So you cause people to die. Okay. You're culpable. You're guilty of being lazy and wicked or sold out. It's one of the two,
A announced through a press release the rollout of a new international CBDC. Stay with me here, and I'll try to read this. Sorry, I've still got the flu.
International
So
CBDC.
if I take a deep breath, I cough. This is crucial. Here's their press release. I'm going to try to read a dry press release.
I'll read the first part so
Okay.
that you can take a break.
she
Today
does
at the
that, I'm gonna cue
International
this up.
Monetary Fund Spring
this all the
Meetings
time.
2023, the Digital Currency Monetary Authority announced their official launch of an international central bank digital currency that strengthens the monetary sovereignty.
All know, stand up to this. Yeah, absolutely. We need to be able to stand up to this because it's going to get worse here. This. Love you in our chat on YouTube says, yes, everyone say no, 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 hell no, stand up to this. Yeah, absolutely. We need to be able to stand up to this because it's going to get worse here, as I explained.
Yes, it's going to get worse. Isaiah 42 and 9, "Behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare before they spring forth. I tell you of them." All right. So now it's about to be understood. All right. Now it's about to be understood. The things that we've been saying are coming to pass. This year, people are about to get on to this new system. All right. Whether they want to or not. Now, when you go down and you go back to Ezekiel 33, go down to the last verse. All right. You'll see. All right. Ezekiel 33 and 33, it says, and when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come. All right. That's why I read Isaiah 42. We tell you of these things before they come. Then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them. All right. So these people are not gonna know until it's too late. Then they're gonna realize, oh shit, those guys that on the street corners. All right, that's how the Lord is getting down. Okay, let's watch a little more.
So what the hell? Who is the DCMA? Who are these people?
Is this group, this shady group, also pro-Ukrainian by chance?
Oh,
so a group called the DCMA that nobody really has ever heard of. They're passing laws and legislation over you, man. All right, they're in the dark, man. They're all of their iniquity is being worked in the dark. And you brothers post any precepts y'all got in the comments if y'all have them.
Absolutely they are. In fact, Citibank was on a panel. I mean, yes, all of these guys who want to profit massively from an infusion of capital inside of Ukraine, absolutely tied to this, right? I don't know that they're tied to crypto and FTX and all that stuff, but I'm telling you, anybody who's in a Western-aligned government right now absolutely is tied to this. And that's all you need to know right there. So who the hell are these guys, this shady group, the DCMA, that's now working with the IMF to govern all of our financial transactions?
And the IMF are basically economic terrorists for the U.S., man. That's really what they are. The IMF goes around the globe shitting on people, man, giving people loans they can't pay back. The International Monetary Fund is under the guise of being something righteous. Look, we're here to give poor countries developing infrastructure, and they need to build a bridge or a power plant. We'll go in and help them. Except when you go to these countries, what do? You gatekeep them. Oh, you say, oh, y'all are against feminism here. You can't get a loan, or y'all can't build regular plants here. Y'all have to do alternative energy. You have to watch your carbon footprint if you want this loan. Oh, you have to be pro rainbow if you want this loan. You see, that's what the International Monetary Fund does. You wonder why countries like Greece got absolutely shit on. How did Greece almost burned up, man? Oh, there was so much protest, and they're part of Europe. How did that happen? The IMF. You see? I'm going to get that in James, Salakia. Cue this up. Go to now, James 5:1. Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. All right? Because this money that they're giving you is bullshit anyway, man. Ain't that some shit? They give you a loan of some bullshit money that ain't worth nothing, and then they use it to basically take over your government, man. That's what the IMF does. Okay?
Turns out, according to their press release, they're a secretive group of, quote, sovereign states, central banks, commercial and retail banks, and other financial institutions. Is that sufficiently vague for you?
Wow, you heard that? So it's just a bunch of countries, man. A bunch of countries, a bunch of central banks. They're an organization. They formed a unit, all right, to pass legislations and policies over the entire population, man. Keep that Isaiah 42:9. It says, I tell you the things before they happen. All right, keep that in mind.
We already know the IMF picks winners and losers when it decides who gives its loans to, right? Right? Mm-hmm. I mean, think about how the IMF does this in Africa, right?
Yes.
Can you speak on that a little bit?
Well, what do you mean exactly? Sorry, do you want me to?
I needed a water break, but you did a whole story on this last year on how the IMF ferrets out different loans, and we covered it here on the show. But sorry for throwing you under the bus. Anyway,
I have to review my notes.
Let me go back to Natalie's story.
Let me skip here, man.
So the International Monetary Fund likes to decide how much money they're going to give out to countries, poor countries in Africa and otherwise, based on your, I don't know, social credit worthiness, basically. So,
right.
Oh, you're going to create a new coal-powered plant? Sorry, we're not going to give you loans for that. But if you're going to build a solar farm here in Africa, sure, we'll give you loans that will. You
see, this behavior has already been in place. See, the devil has been The devil, you could always see a little peek of the devil's horn. You just got to be close enough to see it, or you got to be in the right position to see it, or the spirit's got to be willing beyond you to see it. This is the same MO. We'll give you some money, but you just got to do that, or this is how you qualify for it. You see? They call it credit worthiness, your ability to pay back a loan, but it's not credit worthiness. They don't care about your ability to pay it back. They don't care if you pay it back. They just want control of your country. Matter of fact, they know you can't pay it back. They go to countries where they know that they can't pay back these loans. Like straight up loan sharks, man. This is like mafioso. They're the economic hitmen, all right, and subjugator of the U.S. So they've been doing this for decades, man. The International Monetary Fund came out of the whole World War II situation. It was one of the entities formed around the same time as the UN. The International Bank of Settlements. Boom, 1944, man. The Bretton Woods Agreement. Okay. They had something called the Bretton Woods Agreement. All right. And out of that, you had the Bank of International Settlements in there. You had the IMF, all right, other global entities, World Bank. Okay. So they've been around doing this, man. This isn't anything new. Okay. And he's getting ready to do the same thing now. Y'all just think this guy is just benign and corrupt. No, he is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
Will enable your growth in Africa for that. But wait a second. You're asking me to skip our entire industrial revolution? You guys got to do it in Germany and America. Lessons or college or, I don't know, buy a Netflix subscription or what the hell else do people want to buy and enjoy?
Mm-hmm. First James 5:3, it says, your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days. All right. So the IMF is a major part of this prophecy right here, man. They're the heapers. They go all the way around the earth, heaping up treasures from people, man. All right. They scout it out economically. Then the American military, they eventually show up. All right. Under the guise of democracy, they establish a military base on your land. All right. And under the guise of opportunity and economic freedom, they give you a loan that you can't pay back. Okay. And then when you cry out, they offer you sovereignty, quote unquote, sovereignty in quotation to the asterisk behind it. They offer you sovereignty as being recognized by the UN as a way for them to recognize you, but you really don't have sovereignty. All of those nations that are a part of the UN, the vast majority of them are there because America got to them. They exploited them somehow. Okay. Either that or they want some US dollars. It says, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. You have heaped treasure together for the last days. So that's the time that we're in. We're in the last days. All right. And 1944 was definitely, we're in the last days after World War II, for sure. We really have been since 70 AD, really. But we're in the last stretch, man. That basically we're getting ready to blow that seventh trumpet. All right, but verse 4, it says, behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth. All right, nobody wants to do this anymore, man. Nobody. The American dream is dead. You know, everybody understands now that working hard isn't enough. Working smart is not even enough. All right. Some people can do it, but not everybody. Right. And that's the system that this guy set up. There's no system where everybody can flourish. He set up a system where you basically have to step over another man to get paid. That's how capitalism is set up in this society. If you want the highest record quarter over quarter growth, you man, just dump the chemicals in the river, man. Just dump the chemicals in the river. You know, you're gonna save, $1 billion in profits, and then boom, 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 boom. That's how the system is set up. So what you have is a bunch of men that are willing to do anything, all right, to get paid. They're gonna be the winners, and ultimately these people with this shady character are gonna be the one that dictates the culture and how things move at the bottom. And this happened among Esau. I'm talking about within white people. This happened, man. Because he never looked at Jake as anything. But now we're starting to see the curses flip. Now your own people are crying out against you. Now it's a problem. Now all of these white people on news and alternative media, now they want to cry out. Now they got something to say. Now we got to do something about those white people. No. The Lord very, very shortly, in very short order, is going to come down here and clean all of y'all up, man. It ain't no us against them. Don't try to hitch yourself to us now. You wasn't with us in the 50s. All right. It says, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. All right. And that cry is only heard by the Most High, by the elect. All right. But this exploitation of laborers, is happening to everybody, man. All right. You've lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanton. You've nourished your heart as in the day of slaughter. That's that pride, man. All right. And you can tell by how these people are moving. What are they doing? How they speak. All right.
Their lives with, right? How is it going to work? We don't know. Will it be on your phone? Probably not. Will you have a plastic debit card? Probably.
Remember what I told you on that Isaiah 42. Behold, we tell you the things before they come. All right. This is Revelation 13. All right. And 16. It says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. He causeth all right, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, and that no man might buy or sell. This is economics right here. All right. It's not spiritual. All right. It has nothing to do with sin. Okay. It's going to be tied to something economic, which is physical in this world, goods and services. Okay. It says, save he that had the mark of the number of the name or the number. All right. I'll just say that. Trying to chop my words up. So lock you here. All right. Just remember that.
Probably not. No, remember Professor Richard Werner told us how this will work and what this control will do to all of us. Watch.
Also, they never talk about the nature of this CBDC. What is it actually going to look like? They never talk about that. Right. But I heard one European central banker tell me what it's going to look like. He saw it. He was invited to one of the...
Think about what he's saying. A European central banker actually saw it. This wasn't a meeting where they were planning it. This wasn't a meeting where they had some ideas sketched up. He literally saw it. A European central banker. So this guy is an economist. All right. If you're a central banker in Europe, you're a very high level economist. You have a very good idea of how economies work, how money works. All right. How debt works. You have a very good idea and understanding of it. Right. Now watch what this guy told him.
The old central banks in Europe that are very much promoting this.
They're promoting it.
And they showed him. And, he's a top, executive director of another central bank in Europe. And there's no reason to believe that he was telling me a story. And he was around this large and would be implanted under your skin. So that is the plan.
He showed it to him. This guy right here has seen it with his own eyes. One tied to this umbrella CBDC, man. Let me go back and read this again, man. Revelation 13 and 16. And he calls it all. both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. What? Can you name a rich person that doesn't deal with the U.S. dollar? Name the richest man in the world. He has to deal with the U.S. dollar. Name the poorest man in the world. He's got to deal with the U.S. dollar, or somebody in his country does. You see? He calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, a right to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Okay? He straight up said it, man. Let me play that again.
His skin. They showed him, and he's a top executive director of another central bank in Europe, and there's no reason to believe that he was telling me a story.
He's a top executive director, man. So this guy was very, very high level. He knows it's coming. And watch, I want y'all to pay attention to the reaction in the crowd when he says it here. Watch.
And he was around this large, and would be implanted under your skin. So that is the plan.
You heard him go, oh, in the crowd, it's kind of lows. Yeah. Yeah. The Lord said this was going to go down, and it's going down, man. The Lord said this is going to go down, and it's going down. Let me get it again. Behold, the former things are coming to pass, and new things do I declare before they spring forth. I tell you of them. And this is how the Lord did it, man, through his prophets. How does the Lord tell us of things, man? See if there's another precept similar to this one. Yeah, 2 Peter 1:19, we have also a more sure word of prophecy, whereunto ye that dwell take heed, as unto light that shineth in a dark place, until the day dawn and the day star arise in your hearts, man. Yes. We're breaking down prophecy so you can take heed, and then these other camps are not doing it. Knowing this first, that no prophecy of the scriptures is of any private interpretation. So don't listen to anybody trying to tell you this it's sin and it's sleeping with white women, or it's an embargo, or it's just spiritual, or it's idolatry, or whatever they come. Don't let anybody tell you that this is not of any private interpretation, because mark my words, you're going to start seeing people get lined up, man. Okay, the U.S. dollar is done. It's all over the globe. It's the worst kept secret of between the nations. We're no longer dealing with the U.S. dollar. All right, and America knows it. Okay, so they're getting ready to get desperate, and that's why the warning is important, because a desperate man that's wicked is very dangerous. Okay. That's what we chase, okay? Isaiah 46:9. This is what I'm looking for. Remember the former things of old, for I am the Most High, and there is none else. I am the Most High, there is none like me. Declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. All right? We told you this, and watch how these camps start backtracking and double talking over each other, man. Watch how the Lord fractures this shit, man.
Right. And of course, that has other implications on top of what we've mentioned, on top of the control aspects, because that actually enters your body. In my view, violates human dignity, and can be then used for even in terms of functionality beyond the monetary and economic transaction purposes. So yes. Highly dangerous. And
right, it's going to be beyond the monetary practices, but they're going to use money to do it. They're going to get millions and millions of people. They might get close to 1 billion people just this year. They could get 1 billion people just this year, just based off economic pressure. And there's 750 million people in Europe right now, right? $746 million, so it's about 750. If that was 5 years ago, so it may be approaching 800 million by now. You got immigrants that go into Europe too. All right. So let's say Europe is 800 million right now, man. Well, last year Europe had an energy crisis, man, because they blew up the Nord Stream pipeline. Okay, and we're not gonna say who did it. Technically, we don't know who did it. All right. Because we're on here on YouTube, but last year the Nord Stream blew up, but they still had some energy reserves. They were in trouble. All right, the energy prices went up. People were having trouble paying their bills, but they still had the actual natural resources. All right, but this winter coming up, that's going to be a full year without that Nord Stream. Okay. Watch how much pressure gets put on Europe economically. You don't think they're gonna sign up for this? You see how reluctant and eventually it's gonna set in to these people that if we don't do this, we're gonna die. They're gonna convince themselves in their mind that. See?
It's definitely something we have to oppose. And so using cash is one of the things we can do to make sure that the hurdle will be higher for the central planners to introduce the CBDC?
Now, that's the great question, right? Because I'm a big advocate of cash. And so anytime I get a chance to go to the ATM, I do. And I take out the maximum amount that I can every time that I do. And then, store it in different spots and in safes and so forth, and make sure that it's secure. And I want to make sure that.
See what this guy is doing, that's a bad idea. Why? Because he doesn't think this guy is the devil. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit to get these news hosts' reaction. See, he doesn't understand that this guy is the devil. He thinks hiding money in shoeboxes under like that's gonna matter. This guy is literally gonna ban cash, and that money that you took out that you could have bought some food with, or dry storable food with, that money ain't gonna be worth a damn. You should have bought something of an asset. The U.S. dollar's done. What are you hiding it in the mattress for? What are you hiding it around for? Other nations are actively trying to get rid of it. It's going to be worthless, okay? And that's what this whole CBDC thing is about. They know this is going to be worthless, okay? But these people are coping. They're hoping that things turn around, and it's not.
That is, I hope. My hope is, that's a great question for Catherine Austin Fitts and others is, well, what if they just say we're not accepting that anymore at all? Like, it's no good. We don't recognize it anymore.
Yeah.
And cash.
And your paper
didn't that happen
is
to
not worth the money
to the silver
paper is printed on.
Yeah, what were those silver notes or whatever that during I can't remember, those silver certificates, those just became invalid?
Yeah.
And people had purchased them?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
In Portugal, they only just stopped accepting the old Portuguese monetary currency. And the euro how old is the euro now? 20, 30 years, right? And so they gave that long to turn in the currency, like a really long runway to say, from now on, we will no longer accept that to turn it in for a euro. So you would think that in sort of a kinder society, you would get at least a certain amount of time. But it doesn't seem like now there's any appetite for doing anything like that. It's like let's just rip the Band-Aid and force people into a system that they don't want.
Nope, not this time. Nope. You ain't getting 20, 30 years. No, this is the devil. This guy is now desperate now. You're not getting that amount of time. Why are you not going to get 20, 30 years to convert your currency over like last time? Revelation 12:12. Therefore, all right, rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. He is not about to. That these people are hoping that they're not going to do it because they're helpless. These are your people. Y'all put these people in power, man, through democracy. Well, really, it's of the Most High, but you see what I'm saying. And there's no hope for you people. The Lord hates this place. America's through. The whole system is done. You've been ruining the earth, shitting on everybody, poisoning everything. You've caused untold hundreds of millions of deaths over the years, man. All right. Last precept, and I'll close it. This is Isaiah, Salakia, Habakkuk chapter 1, verse 5. It says, "Behold, ye among the heathen, and regard and wonder marvelously, for I will work a work in your days." What are your days? What are the days of the heathen? All right. All right. I mean, it's not of the heathen. What are these? What are these days? The Lord said He's going to work. All right. These are the last days. It says, "Behold, ye among the heathen, and regard and wonder marvelously." All right. We are the ones among the heathen. All right. "For I will work a work in your days, which ye will not believe, though it be told you." All right. And a lot of you didn't believe it. A lot of you believe Nate. A lot of you believe Johanna. A lot of y'all believe these other camps, Watchmen for Israel, which they're not watching at all because they're not talking about this. A lot of you believed it, and if there's blood on those guys' hands, but it's up to you to repent, man. Every man has to work out his own salvation, man. So with that, Lord willing, this was edifying. Call Halal Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, B'Hashem Rachak W'Dashua, Abba Babal, Shalom.